Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply, and this video is to bring you a closer look at the Keedex number KWIK key. Quick rekeying device for key-to-like locks. That's what will come in this box, and I have the unit pulled out here on my desk, and I have it as I think what you're going to really see in the real environment. And that's what this looks like. There's some tape on here that I've not removed because it's going to the client. I'm actually not convinced it's supposed to be removed. I don't see a reason to remove it. Anyway, this is what the kit looks like when you're going to be using it on your desk or on your workbench. We've got a quick set Bible here that we'll just pull off. And I have loaded it with pins so that we can demonstrate. The pins are not obviously included. But this is the tool. So what you're going to get in the box is this tool that will have this turn nut that will permit you to keep the SC, the Schlage Bible, inside. And that's important because that's how you're going to ramp the pins down into the cylinder plug, which we'll demonstrate in a moment. And I can't pull it out, but you have a spring-loaded plug follower here, and we'll demonstrate that in a moment. If I pulled it out, the pins will fall. A couple of holders for your Bibles, and you will get the Quickset Bible as well. And we can study what that looks like. That's why the Bible, the top of the Bible, is cut away. Okay, these plastic feeder tubes that are here, 1 through 6. If you're doing a 5-pin, doesn't matter. We'll have a substantial, in fact, magnet on the bottom with a plate and a screw to hold it down to your workbench. I think that you would definitely want to have this held down while you're working to prevent unintentional knocking it over. But that magnet's strong enough to keep it in place, but not so strong that you can't easily pull it off. So we've conducted the visual review of the item. We've talked about the parts that are included. Let's look at the extended description. And by the way, there is a factory-produced video below my video showing far more quickly how it works, rather than getting into all of the nuances of it. Now, before we get to the extended description information, I have keyed tens of thousands of locks, maybe more. And I've never used a tool like this. And I have to say that looking at this tool right now and studying it for this video makes me realize I should have been using this 25 years ago. Because when you are doing a project that is key-to-like, which would be a residential rekey, let's say, where you've got, on average, 6, 7, 8, 10 locks, and they're just going to be key-to-like. Once you fill your tubes with all of your pins based on the code of the key, so here's my key, and that bidding number is 366456. 366456. And what I've done is I have taken my 3s, and I've put 4 of them down in there just so that you can see the pins. And then I've put my 4s in the second tube. And then I've put my 6, it's a 6. I've put my 6 in the second tube, the 6 in the third tube, and so on. And I filled that. And if I recall correctly, actually I can see it, this stack will allow you to put 15 number 9 pins, and a 9 Schlage bottom pin is 300 thousandths, I think. So you'll have the ability to do at least 15 locks by stacking your pins with this tool. Or if you've done a job like we have where there is just literally hundreds of locks simply all keyed to the same change key. No master, Just the same key. That's all they want. There is a nationwide deployment of doors and frames that go into specific buildings and applications, and they literally want just one key to work all of them because they are different locations throughout the country. There's no concern over a key that a lock that's a key in a lock that's being used in Pennsylvania, someone getting over to the one in California and opening that door. There's no concern over that. And they want it all keyed alike because then they don't have to worry about what key number is it. Well, you've got the key, you've got hundreds of copies of the key. And that's the advantage, where you can stack these tubes and then very quickly load those pins into the plug and do so in such a way that it takes you longer to open the box, to lift the lid, to pull the lock out than it does to load those pins. You don't have to go back to your pin kit every single time on every single chamber. You can take, you know, your vial or your package of 3 pins, if you're going to do a large job, and stack them up there and load, keep loading them until you're full, basically. Now, what I recognized by watching this be done, it was the only way for me to really understand how this worked. So my pins are loaded, and hopefully I've loaded them correctly. We'll find out. And my key is in the plug, and I'm going to insert it so that it's not straight up like you would like you wouldn't do anyway, because you'll seize the cylinder. So I'm going to slide it in there so I can slide it all the way in. Now when I do that, my spring-loaded plug follower is going to come out. I'm good. Now when I turn it to vertical, my pins should fall. And they didn't fall. They did indeed fall. Hopefully you saw that. My key works good. I'm going to turn it to about that 30 degree, and I'm just going to push my plug follower and let that come all the way out. And we're going to look at that. Those are loaded perfectly. Okay. I'm going to pause this video to put these pins back in the kit, and then I'm going to do it again, and this time a little bit faster. Okay, so we've got those loaded back into the kit. I'm going to do it again. Done. Out. Done. I'm loaded. Oh, I missed a couple. Yikes. Okay, so I did it maybe too artificially quick. Let's put that back in. I can see that the 4th chamber is not falling, because I can see that the pins are not dropping accordingly. Okay, as soon as I tapped it just to get them to move. This tool is brand new. It's never been used. This is what I did 30 seconds ago was the first time that this tool has ever been used and that I've ever done it. Loaded perfectly again. I'm going to pause it, put my pins back. Let's try it again. I don't know if I've got a proper number of pins in here to do it more than one more time. Yeah, I'm still missing that 4th chamber, and I can see that it's held up. Okay, as soon as I tapped it, it worked. You'll notice, now we're loaded properly. You'll notice that the tubes need to sit into the Bible, and they need to sit straight inside of there. So continuing to use the tool, I would look to refine that. I did move this Schlage Bible a little bit. I may have knocked it off just that, 1/10,000th of an inch necessary to get that to move. But if it continued to be a problem, I would investigate it further. Maybe that one little touch of a file to make it work a little bit better, I would certainly do. But like all locksmithing tools, they generally, it's not certainly out of bounds where a locksmith is going to then tweak it to fit their perfect personal liking. So I can tell you this, it's an expensive tool. All locksmithing tools are expensive. That's the downside. The upside is you will absolutely save that money orders of magnitude time over and over again. And this Keedex is an example of that, as are other tools by other manufacturers for locksmithing work. I am sincere when I say, had I realized this tool was available and that it really applied to a lot of the locksmithing that I do, I would have bought it 25 years ago. I don't know how long it's been on the market, but I would have bought it a long time ago. It's well made. It's made by Keedex. They're a company who has a whole lot of locksmithing tools, that's to be sure. Now, I've demonstrated the tool. There's really nothing else to demonstrate on it. The extended description below, the KWIK is a revolutionary quick key-alike device. Now, master pinning. I don't see any way at all that you can master pin with this. Well, actually, that's a lie. I can see how you would do that. If you had a simple master key job, like your master was, 3, 4, 7, 3, 5, and then you were always going to your change key that are deeper cuts, you would be able to insert the change key into the plug, into the Bible, turn it, extract, pull that key out, insert your master, stick it back in, work it, pull that out. That should work fine. And the only disadvantage is you really need to be mindful when you're stacking the tube chambers to get all that correct. I don't see any reason why that wouldn't work. I've not tried it. But I sure don't see a reason why that wouldn't work. At all. And I don't see why it wouldn't work if you had a clean system, like a 3-level system as well. So that should work out pretty nice for you. And the advantage of if it being a relatively simple master key system, you'd have to lay out all, well, the disadvantage is you'd have to lay out all your pins so that, if you had different change keys, that you'd really take a lot of thinking in that regard. I've never tried to dump a master pin down there. I got to tell you that I would probably not be surprised if they didn't jam up as they were falling down these tubes. You might explore that on your own. They are not indicating that this is for master keying at all. I've not tried it, but I would suggest possibly that you try it just to see if it's successful. They say that you can rekey about 10 cylinders. Okay, I'm going to go with more than 10 because of the height of those tubes. The locksmith is repeatedly loading the same pins in the chambers again and again. With the quick key, the locksmith can load the tool once and then rekey the business or residence in an efficient and quick manner, saving time, saving money. So what this tool really allows you to do is to compress the mindless work back to the pin kit over and over again. Okay, there's no doubt that this will save time. Holds up to 15 number 9 pins. Load once and you're done. Clear pin holding tube. The clear pin holding tube allow you to see the tubes that are loaded correctly. If you are using a universal kit like the one over my shoulders, those pins are color-coded. You can visually look at that and say, yep, those at least the right colors are in there, what I want them to be. So that would be helpful. Works with standard and mortise cylinders. Sure, the cylinder plugs, rim cylinders as well. Fender washer attached to your workbench. Helps make the tool a one-hand operation. That's where the magnet comes into play down below. Comes with the Quickset and Schlage spacing Bibles. The cylinder housing, I would call it, but it's also known as a Bible, and in particular, this portion here is called the Bible. Other spacing available, or you could modify your own. You certainly could. A locksmith is certainly going to be able to, with time and probably some practice, be able to make their own Bible for doing this. Spring-loaded follower can be removed and replaced with special purpose follower for unusual cylinder applications. I see no reason why and I've not taken this apart at all, nor will I be doing so, that you could not remove this plug follower, investigate how it's manufactured, possibly duplicate it. You know, the truth of the matter is I don't see... Well, it might work. There's a small amount of slop in here, and a Schlage quickset effective plug diameter is 0.5 inch. I don't see, obviously, how you might make a... Yep, I pulled that plug follower out and my pins came down. How you might make a 0.509 system like you'll see in Corbin Russwin. I don't see how that's going to work in this tool. That might be a concept for academic pursuit at some point in the future. But I will endorse this tool, absolutely and without question. I never thought I'd ever say that about a tool that just loads chambers. I never used it on interchangeable core installations. And maybe it's because I, will do a 24 cylinder job in interchangeable core, not a 500 key-to-like job like I have in the past. So I do encourage it. Finally, there's a link below this video to the manufacturer's page where you can pull up not only all of the Keedex products that we sell, but a link to the manufacturer's website, as well as a link to the full product catalog. If you know the name Keedex, you probably do so for their weldable gate boxes. They manufacture weldable gate boxes that you will use in those steel or aluminum or stainless applications where you want to add a lock to some sort of welded gate structure that you've created. You can make your own gate box. There's no doubt about that. The reason that you wouldn't is because it would be far more costly for you to do so than to purchase a pre-manufactured weldable gate box directly from Keedex. They're also known for their armored door loops. And then, of course, finally, their specialty locksmithing tools. I would encourage you to review their product catalog, which is linked down below this video to the manufacturer's page, and familiarize yourself with some of their unique solutions. I endorse this tool, and I would absolutely suggest that you purchase it if you're doing key-to-like over and over and over again for whatever project you might be doing. Any questions on the Keedex Quick Key-alike quick device or any other Keedex product, please feel free to reach out to us. And thank you.